Coach, you start with an open statement.
Tough game. I thought certainly, again, we got down early quickly, but our guys fought hard. Definitely as a football coach, proud of the effort. We'll fight for 60 minutes, that's for sure. As a coach, I'm proud of that. Certainly, we want to win ball games, though, and that's our focus. We got to get back to work, and certainly it was a disappointing day.
Question.
Coach, I know if it was an easy remedy, it'd already be put in place, but at this point in the season, is there anything that you can kind of do to prepare the team, to kind of fend against these slow starts and miscues right in the opening minutes of games?
Lanny, if you knew that, we're going to work on some little things this week. You know what I'm saying? Just hopefully give us that little boost early. And certainly, I'm proud of the effort. It's like Keon. He played a great game. He did. He's a young quarterback. We had some turnovers early, but you can see what type of player he's going to be. You know what I'm saying? And so that's a positive. And so we're going. We knew going in, we were trying to redshirt Key, and we knew going in that was a position that certainly we were going to try to get through the year healthy at that position. That was kind of the plan. But unfortunately, we weren't able to, and we had to burn the shirt off Keon. I knew Keon was going to do a great job when he got in there, and I think everybody got a little glimpse of what type of player he is. And so he was the first guy that I called when I got the job here. So at the end of the day, he's a young man. I'm glad he's an Eagle, and just looking forward to his development. He's going to be an outstanding football player.
Coach, kind of along those same lines, at what point did you realize that Nick and Parker were not going to be available?
Lanny, I probably knew it earlier in the week. Certainly didn't want to let it out too early because, just wanted to let the other team prepare, for something else, what I'm saying? So I felt like it was probably a smart move on our behalf. And again, you still have a little bit of cautious optimism that maybe everything will pan out toward the end of the week. But, it looks like, midweek we pretty much knew we were going to have to go with Key. And so the bottom line, again, I'm proud of the job he did. I thought he did an outstanding job. And you're talking about a true freshman coming out of high school that went in there and played his butt off. Just an outstanding effort.
How was Keon in practice last week?
Good. Keon's a quarterback. He is. He's a competitor. He's just got that demeanor. The thing I love about him too is he can move on to the next play. A lot of guys can't do that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of guys are talented out there, but they can't move on. Key's one of those guys that he can move on. And again, I'm excited. I'm excited about him. I really am. I love him to death, and I just think he's going to be an outstanding football player.
Is Nick still day to day?
Still day to day. So I won't have an answer for that today. And that's I really won't. That'll be toward the end of the week.
Coach, kind of regardless of the health of the other two quarterbacks, do you foresee Howard being a major part of the offense moving forward the rest of the season?
No question. No question. We'll have to certainly. That's the deal you do. Anytime you have to burn a young man's red shirt, you know what I'm saying? He's got to be involved. You know what I'm saying? But the reality is, we were trying to get through this year best we could, but unfortunately, again, I think I told you a little earlier, there's a few positions we didn't need a ton of injuries at. You know what I'm saying? And certainly, I was hoping we could get through this season with Nick healthy and not have to do what we did yesterday or Saturday.
If now that you say Keon's probably going to be more involved, whether Nick gets back or not, the offense is going to have to kind of.
I'm not even going to really address that till I know what we got. You know what I'm saying, Jason? Because I really don't know yet. And I can't really make an educated. Answer there because you're talking about two outstanding football players. And of course, Nick's our starter. You know what I'm saying? And Nick started 9 games. He's our starter. You know what I'm saying? But the reality is we're at a position here we don't really know. And so it doesn't do me any good to talk about what I don't know about. But we'll see. But certainly, when you have to have a plan, and especially you got to be fair, in that plan. And so we're just gonna look at it, and we'll know toward the end of the week, what we're dealing with.
With the injuries to the quarterbacks, you know, Keon ran a lot, over 20 times. Is that on purpose or?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, Key's probably a little bit more of a different style, Q, you know what I'm saying? But he's a dual threat guy. You know, he's a guy that can throw it and run it. And, you know, I think, you know, they're both, you know, you have to play your strengths at times. But Key's also a guy that he can sit back there and throw for 400 too. That's the advantage of, you know, like with Key, you can't sit there and say, oh, he's gonna run it, because he can throw it. You know, he can throw the football like crazy, you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, but he is a guy that, you know, he can get out of the pocket sometimes, and he can make guys miss, and he can do some things of that nature, you know?
North Texas, coming up Saturday, another road game, another, obviously a conference opponent. How much do you know about them and what they do? And
You know, Jason, they're again, they're kind of in the same boat we are right now after last couple of weeks, but, you know, they are a football team that, is certainly a talented football team. I think they're a team that, has had some big wins, you know, in their season. Had a tough game last week against a very good football team, but, they're a team that, again, is a spread style offense. You know, they can throw it and run it, and their quarterback's a dual threat guy that does a little bit of everything. Their receivers are talented. You know, their running backs have big playability. You know, on defense, they give you a lot of different looks, a lot of odd fronts, and so I mean, they're a good football team.
Coach, when you start preparing for this week, and obviously things haven't gone like any of us would like to see in the last month of the season, could you talk a little bit about the overall attitude of the players as well as the staff?
You know, our guys are fighting. Our staff's fighting, and that as a coach, that's what you love. You know, they're fighting, and they come out to practice every day. They're working hard. They're fighting hard. Like I said, you know, I'll take all responsibility. I'm the head coach. That's my job. You know, so our players are fighting. They're working hard. You know, there's never one game. And you can think about it, Lanny, from, you know, we fought back in Troy, lost at the last seconds. Fought back at San Antonio, and we were down big early, fought back, you know what I'm saying? Fought back, even in Charlotte, fought back there. You know, got the ball with 4 minutes to go, now a 2-possession, 11-point game coming back. Fought back at Old Dominion. There has been nothing but fight on our football team, you know, and that's the Southern Miss way, and I'm proud of that. You know, certainly we want to win ball games, but as a football coach, and I like to consider myself a life coach at times, those guys that fight through life, and they fight through adversity, and they fight through, and that's what we got to do right now. You know, it's just adversity. We got to fight. You know, you don't have a second choice. What you do, you can fight or quit, one of the two, and we're gonna fight. You know, and so at the end of the day, that's the one thing that I'm proud of. You know, and I'll always be proud of. I'm proud of this football team. They're digging in. They're fighting hard. We're banged up a little bit at some positions, but we're fighting hard. So again, I'm proud of it.
Like the last week in the quarterbacks, with Nick not being able to go, and I guess Parker not being able to go, who would have backed up Keon, and would that?
We had our tailback in there, Tez Parks, you know, and he's a guy that we actually spent a lot of last week putting our tailback at quarterback and working that out. So again, and I, you know, and I've said this early in the season, you know, there's a couple spots on our football team we need to stay healthy at. You know what I'm saying? And that's just the reality. You know, perception is, we certainly were all unhappy with that Charlotte game, but if you can go back a year ago, you know, we were 6-3 at that time. We were 5-4 after the Charlotte loss at that time, and then we unfortunately had a few injuries at some spots, but we're battling and we're fighting hard, and we're gonna battle out. I know that about our spirit in Southern Miss. We're gonna battle out, man, and that's what this is all about.
Will there be a emphasis, you know, you're out of the championship game, but there's still a bowl picture to look at?
Yeah, we're gonna talk about the now. Certainly, our players probably understand that, but we're gonna talk about this week, and I think that's all you can worry about right now, Alan. It's just this week and preparing this week hard and getting ready for this week, you know. And certainly, you know, It's been a tough 2 weeks, but that's football. We gotta go scratch and claw.
Coach, I understand you guys were real pleased with Julian Allen's blocking, and it had been all season, but this past game, he was probably more involved, given Keon being more of a runner and all that stuff. So if you could just kind of.
Julian, I think Jason, he's a multi-talented guy. I think he's a guy I think he's been blocking well. I think he catches the ball well. You know, I think he's an athlete. You know, he's made a ton of big plays for us. But Julian's a guy that can do it all. He really can. And he's a guy that, again, he's a tough guy too. And I like Julian a lot because he comes in, he works hard at practice. He gives you everything he's got game day. So I think he's had an outstanding season. I really do.
Anything else? Coach, thank you.
Okay, guys, appreciate it.